was soft enough to fall through. You can't make no biscuits with that humpy, clumpy stuff in them. When you eat the biscuit, you want it to be soft. Back in the old days, they had an old-fashioned system. You would pour the flour in and turn and turn, and every time the sister turned, you could hear crunch. But the more it turned, the more it softened it up. The more it turned, the more it softened it up. That's why God got some of you on the potter's wheel, turning and turning and turning around. The more you turn, the more He gonna soften you up. The more you turn, the more He gonna soften you up. That's why you need a spiritual sifter to separate the wheat from the tare, to separate good from evil, to separate life from death. Anybody want to live? Somebody ought to look toward heaven and tell the Lord, sift me, Jesus. I don't mind. Sift me, Lord. I don't mind. Keep me on the potter's wheel. Sift me, Lord. Make it soft where it's supposed to be soft. Sift me, Lord. Separate me. Separate holiness from sin. I'm on the sifter. Tell somebody I'm on the potter's wheel. Turning me around. See, you need for God to do all of these things while you're under the knife. He gonna give you strength while you're under the knife. He gonna sanitize you before you go under the knife. He gonna sanitize and sift. And you got